there everybody. Today I'm going to use the Traditional Labels stamp set. So this comes as a full suite. There are 2 stamp sets and 2 sets of dies, as well as a whole heap of DSP and other bits and pieces. But for today I'm using the Traditional Labels for the sentiments. Excuse me. I am using Real Red and Garden Green for the ink, and I will need, for one of those, I will need a blending brush. And for the DSP that I am using some of this beautiful Traditional Christmas, I think it is DSP. It's a 12 by 12 specialty paper. You can see like lots of gold foiling. The back sides of those are a lovely basic pattern that can be used even if it's not Christmas time. So, but for today we're going to use this one. So here is our samples. These are miniature cards, so great for you could slot in here a gift card, or these are perfect for adding to a gift. When you don't want a large card, you just want to add it like a giant tag. So I have got a project coming up in about another 3 weeks or so, which will show a little way of creating these as a gift to make half a dozen or so together. That is a really nice little idea. So I do like this fun fold for today because it is little. It does actually still have a fair bit of room on the inside to make write a message. And this one here, I think it's called a triangle opening fun fold or something like that. I did see the large version of it the other day on social media. Lots of people have been using this. So I thought I would give this a go at doing a miniature version. I did post some social media recently about creating these sized cards. And yeah, they are a part of a little gift that I'm going to put together. So what these are lovely is, I think they're 10 by about 7.5 centimeters. So the perfect size for adding to a gift. So these ones here were one on social media. So these ones actually come the same size. So I'm going to pop these ones aside and we're going to get started. So to create 2 cards, so 2 cards come out of 1 card base size, which is our, let me see, 10.5 centimeters by 21 centimeters. It's very, very simple. I'm going to move some things to the side to show you, and I will pop these to the side, and when we get to embellishing, I will show you what we do with the dies for that. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer here, which needs a bit of a clean by the looks of it. So here is our cardstock. I'm using Garden Green to match the DSP. So if you're not aware, the DSP, when you purchase Stampin' Up, they actually write on the back all of the matching colors, which is what we love about Stampin' Up. They actually coordinate all their products so that when you are completing a card, all the colors match and it gives a really professional finish. So we're going to take this and we're going to go from one corner down to the bottom corner. So make sure it just lines up in our tracks. You can see here, I've just got to get it right so it's exactly in the middle. Now, because this is a small one, excuse me, small one will fit with very easily on our tracks. If you were trying to do a bigger card, so a traditional size card, you actually only get, I don't know, 80% of it, and you have to actually snip it the way because it doesn't quite fit within all the way down to our track. But the small ones do. So there we go. Very simple. No scoring for this one. So I started off by scoring when I did it. I have discovered that you don't need to do that. So let's pop one to the side. This one's the one I'm going to start with first. Whichever way you want to turn this, that's fine. But basically you're going to take one corner here and match it over to this corner. You're going to hold it in place, and you're going to get your bone folder and just move it across here. Give it a really good burnish so it sits as flat as you can. Okay, then we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to use this corner. We're going to bring it across. Now, we need to pull it across. It's a bit harder on this one, and they do match. And then bring your bone folder to come across here. There we go. Now, if the corners are just a little like mine, they don't quite fit, it won't matter in the end. So whichever way you want it to be, this will open. So for me, can go this way or this way. It won't really matter. I tend to go this way. And of course you can have it the other way. So both of those are going to, this is going to be a replica card. So you're going to have two of the same. So you're getting two little cards out of that half a sheet of cardstock. So in other words, 4 little cards from 1 sheet of cardstock. And what I love is the fact that this can use fairly scrappy kinds of pieces of DSP, because all you're going to need here is, it's 10 centimeters by 6.9. So what that actually is, it's about half, okay, half of that amount. So this we're going to cut from corner to corner, and we're going to use 2 different of our DSP for this one. So first one here, we're just going to go from corner to corner. Take your time to line it all up so that it's accurate, and then hold it still in the corner whilst you trim it off. Here we go for number 1 and for number 2. So for number 2, I do want, because I want it a little bit more directional, although you won't notice it so much, I do want to go from this corner here across to this corner here, holding that in one place and moving the top and then down. Okay, so you could do this where you're swapping and changing, so it's like that. I'm going to keep mine the same, and let's have a little look. Very straightforward. Just going to glue those on. Now I probably will show you the inside. I'm not very good at finishing the insides of my cards, so I am going to put in a bit of an effort in the next month or so and make sure that my insides of my cards get finished off properly, because I do tend to do that when I go to use the card, and then it's actually a bit of a pain. You got to go and find matching cardstock or stamps which have already been put away. So that's number 1. Easy, very easy. Number 2, and like I said, this one here, it's because it's really pretty as well. This makes life very easy. Whoops. Oh, I have put them the wrong way, so put them this way. Just make sure that they're going to match before you put them on. There we go. All right. So pop this one down, and then the next one. Here, a little bit of glue, and popping that down here, like so. So these don't close completely, but putting the embellish on the front with a label does tend to hold it a little bit more in place. The thing I'm thinking of is if I'm going to use them like a tag, I'll probably end up putting a hole in here and add a little bit of twine, and then it'll hang on a gift that way. And that does keep it closed a little bit as well. So let me pop the inside first. And I haven't cut any paper, so just give me 1 second, and I'm going to do a same exactly measurement. So it's going to be 10 centimeters by it was 6.9, and of course I am in Australia, so these are centimeters. So if you are wanting to convert it to inches, I have got an online converter that you can just pop our measurements in and that is online. So that's very easy. So I'm going to grab, for the inside, I'm going to use this sentiment just for you. And I am going to match with garden green. So let me just grab my cardstock. My ink. And I'm going to stamp that up. I'm just going to pop it in one corner, like so. And another one here. So I like these sentiments because they're not exactly straight. So it doesn't matter if they're a little bit off skew or askew, whatever the word is. So I'm just going to put this on the inside, a small amount of ink, glue on the inside here, just so that it fits in here. And the other one here as well. Here we go, which I did actually put a little bit of glue accidentally on the other side. So I'm just going to grab my little rubber. If you don't have one of these adhesive remover rubbers, I would highly suggest that you do that. Now, I've probably put that upside down, which it doesn't really matter how it opens. Who has stolen? Don't know where my little rubber is. I'll have to find that. It's a little grey. Here it is, this colour. Like a beigey colour, and that actually just removes any ink. You just got to be careful, be gentle. I'm not gentle. So there we go. So that pops that one and here. So let's pop those to one side for a second. I'm going to show you the embellishments. So for this particular, I just want to keep it fairly simple. So we've got real red in the labels. So these labels here are called traditional labels. So let me just bring those out. So it's this one here, and when I pop it out, it gives a great banner. There we go. Okay, and then this has a whole heap of nesting dies that create this one. So this is the one I'm going to use. This one does nest here between those three, and this one's the same. So it wouldn't matter what you use. You just want to be able to cover a fair amount of that front. So I'm going to use those two. Okay, now I have used the, I think it's called Traditional Greenery. Hang on, let me check. Christmas Greenery. That also has a matching die set. Now for these ones here, I am cutting out some gold foil that I had sitting around. Gold foil is in the shop as well, but not this bright gold. It's a slightly matte kind of compared. So this is one that I had sitting in my stash. So, and don't worry about this. So I only had a small amount. You won't need one corner of it. You'll just need like because this will tuck underneath, if you can have a look. There it tucks underneath here. So let's pop those together. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put the sentiment on there. So I have used Season's Greetings for the other two cards. So I'm going to use Sending Joy, Love and Joy for this one. So these sentiments, which I haven't used yet, they're on a bit of a swirl. That's not the right word. But when you pop them on here, and you've just got to make sure, because one way doesn't quite fit with the other. You can see that. So make sure they're around the right way before you ink them up. There we go. Like so. And I'm going to use Garden Green to ink that up. Now, my Garden Green seems to ink up really dark. I don't know if maybe it's getting old and it needs to be inked, perhaps. Just pop that one down. I have got a second one already done. So I think that's the right way. There we go. So I might have to add a bit more ink to that one because it's a bit dark. I don't like my ink pads very juicy because then I make a mess, and I'm a very messy crafter. Now, next, just have a quick look. I have got a bit of scrap paper here. So you can use scrap paper, you can use, you know, the carrier sheets that come in the stamp sets when they come. They've got this hard plastic one, which normally I would pop these inside here as I go, which I haven't done yet, but they end up inside, and then you end up with this plastic sheet. There's two of them actually, a lighter one and a darker, heavier one. This heavier one is great for using the brush to just add some ink to it. Can't think of the name. So I'm going to use Real Red. Okay, I'm going to tap that on. I'll just move this to the side. We're going to just do a little bit either side. And I do swirl sort of, I do in like figure 8. And I like the end to be quite dark. So that's one. And the other one. And it's sort of about layering more and more ink. A little bit light at the beginning, and then add a bit extra towards the edges of your inking. So you can see I just tap extra on. Some of our inks need a lot more and some need a lot less. So you can see reds tend to add a lot of ink. So there we go. We've got 2 of those. And we've got 2 of our labels already done. So let me move it all to the side so you can see how it goes together a little bit better. Okay. So we're going to use some dimensional dots. So I'm trying to find my larger ones. I've got a lot of little ones sitting. Here we go. I've got a lot of mine cut in half as well. Just a little caddy that is on my desk. They will fit in there if I cut it in half. It also means I get all these little or smaller amounts here. So I try to put the first one so that, how do I explain it? These parts here that have in the die, they're quite fragile in these sections. Great if you want to move them around a bit so that they've got a little bit more dimension, but I didn't want that this time. A couple of these. So I put it so on those seam areas that make them a bit more stable. Okay, pop them on. Here's the first label. And I just put it just a little bit above the die, the label, sorry. I'm going to do the next one. Okay, in the center here. So I'm assuming people may have started card making. I know that sending cards is a bit of a dying art, so to speak, or something that doesn't happen as much anymore. But Christmas seems to be the time where people tend to revisit that idea a little bit more. So there we go. All right, so let's bring in our finishing parts, which is, here we go, our little golden holly leaves. And then here, I'm just going to do it under here, under this corner here, fair bit underneath there. You're not going to see it. These sections here, I want to pop it fairly underneath a fair bit because we don't want too much poking out because it doesn't need a lot of space. So we pop that there. Looks very plain when these two are together, but once they're added to that DSP, my goodness, it doesn't doesn't it add to it? Here we go, one here and one underneath here. So you're tucking it under, and that's one of the reasons why I've used the dimensions as well. It makes it easier to pop it underneath. Now these are going to pop here. So what my little suggestion is whatever the top one is where you're going to adhere, and it just holds it just in place a little bit better. Now, where to put it? So you only want it on this top flap. So I'm going to pop this on here, and I'm just going to use my fingers and sort of, this is where I'm going to add it, and I'm going to add a triangle there. So it doesn't have to be perfect, it just will hide behind there. Hold it fairly still, hold it in one place and hold it down for a second. Now the red, you can see sort of gets hidden a little bit more from than the other DSP. Don't have to all use the same, so it's entirely up to you where you would like, or what color I should say, cardstock you would like to use for your label. So here we go. And we've got so many labels really. So if you have some that are sitting dormant and haven't been used for a while, then grab those out as well. I love labels, so there we go. And that is done. So let me bring in the others. So this is equivalent to one sheet of cardstock and a couple of scraps of our DSP, and then it makes a lovely little mini card or set of cards. There we go. There we go. Let me see if I can hold them all up close. So thank you everybody for joining. If you are over on my YouTube, make sure you check out my other videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe. These are available at the moment in the store. I am an Australian demonstrator, so if you don't have one already, please let me know. I'd love it if you gave me a thumbs up as well, and I will see you next time. Thank you.